Welcome back to this lesson. In this lesson, we will continue to look at the way or the options that are available when you are trying to, find the lowest or the highest array value in a JavaScript array context. In the previous lesson, we've talked about the use of the short method to read the first or last element, then using the index position to get the value that corresponds to the lowest or the highest array value. So we've looked at the way you can use it in an ascending way or a descending order of your array elements. In this lesson, we will start talking about the math-min and the math-max method of extracting out the either lowest or the highest array value. So using the math-min method on an array. Now the math-min dot apply bracket null 1 2 3 is equivalent to math-min 1 2 3. So what you can see right here on my screen is that this is the way the method works on an array element. Math.min minimum dot apply, then you pass in your array into that method, and then it's going to pass it and then get the lowest array value out for you. So which means that what you are looking at right now on my screen is telling us basically that the arguments require two things. The first, which is null, and the second is the array. So but the first one, where you can see null, is optional. And that is why you see that the other part is saying that this that you have right here is equivalent to this. You can see that the null or whatever it is has been removed. And even the bracket, that the square bracket that you know that this is an array has been removed. So JavaScript understand and it will interpret it correctly. And then the math.max method can be used to find the highest number in an array. So one can be used to find the lowest array value, and the other can be used to find the highest array value. So let's look at an example for each in my code editor. Sorry, just a second. So I want to open it in my code editor and also in my browser so that I can see the output of what you're working with. So my live server is up. Okay, good. So this way. Okay, so let's continue. Now here is my JavaScript function that I worked with in the previous lesson. So let me quickly just change some things and then you can see the example. So I'll make an example, and this is going to be arrays of numbers. Don't forget that we've been working with numbers. So I'll just put random values. So here is my array. And then now I want to use the function. But before that, let me just first get out this value dot get element by it. So the point is what I want to show. And here in my browser, you can see the values of my array. So with this, I can just go ahead and then start working with what I have right now. So you can see that this is my initial array element. So now if I want to work with this, I need to change this part. Inner HTML equals to my array name. Sorry, I want to make a function which is going to be my array main. So this is just the function name. And you remember that in the earlier explanation, I talked about the fact that your math.main method requires a parameter, and that parameter is the array that you are trying to pass to get the lowest minimum value. So I will pass it in with my array name. Then I can now make that array function here. Then the parameter will be array. You can see that here is my array, this one that I'm passing in. So put the parameter here, and then inside my function, I can just return. What do I want? I want to return this math.main.apply. So I can do away with the null and just pass in what I have, which is my this thing. What is it called? Array, and then the null, which is the first argument. So if I do this, you can see this chain. If I omitted this null, I'm going to be getting something like infinity, as you can see on the screen, which means that JavaScript cannot interpret this. So unless you are passing in numbers like this, 1, 2, 3, this is what the method looks like by default. The null is the first argument and your array. So if you pass in direct numbers, then it will work. But in my case, I'm not passing in direct number. I'm passing in the name as a parameter for my array. And that is why you see that when I omitted the none, I am getting infinity as the response. So you can see, if you look at this now, let me comment this so that you can see the original value of my array. So I'll do this document dot yeah. So I want to show the initial distance that I have array. So you can see 2, 5, 10, 99, 100, 55. You can see that the lowest is 2, because this math.main will find the lowest possible value and give me the output. So the same thing can be repeated for marks. If I want to get marks, I only just need to change from main to marks like this. Then this will become marks as well, and this too will become marks. And if you look at it, you will see that the result actually has changed, which means that you can either use the math.min to get the lowest value, or the math.maximum.apply to get the maximum value. So this is how the math.minimum and math.maximum method works with getting the lowest and highest array values in JavaScript. Thank you. And in the next lesson, we can continue to look at the third method, which is the homemade functions, in order to get the lowest and the highest array value in your code. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Don't forget to practice and read more about this. Thank you.